What's going on, guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital. We're here with Kyle Floyd, CEO of VOX Royalties. Nice to have you back, Kyle. How are you doing?
Aaron, I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having us back on the show.
Yeah, it's great. So it's been a little while since we last spoke. Can you start by giving us an update on the company and everything you've been up to?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been a few months and we've had a tremendously successful campaign over the last 3 months, mostly driven by what's already in the portfolio, which was something I think you and I spoke about previously, which was our organic growth, which means without us having to do an additional deal, put any capital out, our portfolio continues to grow based on the operating company's expenditure. And that's obviously one of those reasons why you own royalty companies is for that type of exposure, which our business offers to shareholders in spades. And so some of that growth, one of the really big announcements, I think, for our company has been the Bowden's project, which is the largest developing primary silver project in Australia. It's feasibility stage. It's awaiting final permitting. Their CEO came out and believes that the resource base there, again, somewhat dependent on continued successful drilling campaigns, can triple. And that would look like a 5 million ounce gold equivalent deposit when it's all said and done. Right now, it's sitting at more than 165 million ounces of silver. So really, potentially shaping up to be an absolutely phenomenal project, large scale. We've got a great royalty over that. And coinciding with that, they've announced doing an underground study. So there's the potential that either underground goes alongside of the open pit operation or goes after, which dramatically extends mine life. And that's one of those reasons why you buy royalty companies and why royalty companies buy royalties is you get that exposure. We're not putting any additional capital in, and we're not diluted when they go to fund those growth opportunities. So that's a big one. Ashburton's another monster for us in the portfolio. They've kicked off and just started releasing news results. I think it's a 12,000 meter drill program. And then we've had first gold pour from Segilola. They've announced commercial production. We've had a royalty that we bought from a hearing aid company that we bought for 200,000, just awarded. The underlying mining company has now awarded an EPC contract for 70 million plus. We bought that royalty for 200,000. Should cash flow in Aussie dollar terms more than 500,000, around 500,000 for us on a good medium-term mine life with extension opportunities. We had Janet Ivy, which is just been announced that they are now, this is going to be part of the largest heap leach gold operation in all of Australia. So we bought that royalty at great value. That was back in March. They announced that this expansion project is now underway. It's a $400 million expansion project. So, really significant developments within our portfolio, a host of great drilling results on exploration and development stage assets for us. Too much to really encapsulate in this interview without the audience going crazy on me. But I guess I can't express enough just the organic growth that's happening right now in our portfolio, from everything from exploration to development to what's in production now, has been really, really significant over the last few months.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I know you touched a little bit on the exploration updates, but anything else you want to add for your operating partners?
Yeah, look, we take our hats off to our operating partners, especially what we have in Western Australia. What we talked about originally was that gold in Aussie dollar terms has been at all-time highs now, or approaching all-time highs for almost the last 4 years. And so what that means is our operating partners there especially are really well funded and well incentivized to move those projects forward. That's happening across a portfolio of, in totality, we have 55 royalties and streams, 37 of which are in Australia, and most of those in Western Australia, just continue to exceed all expectations that we had. And we had high expectations for what we purchased. So our shareholders are really benefiting from what is a great commodity price environment, especially in Australia.
Love to hear it. So VOX has consistently been growing revenues, like we've spoke about many times the last couple of quarters. Do you expect this to continue? And if so, what do you see being your main revenue driver going forward?
Yeah, revenue, we doubled revenue guidance just a month and a half ago, approximately. And we were expecting around $2 million in revs for this year. We doubled that guidance to somewhere between 4 and 5. We continue to be on pace to hit those numbers. And, looking out beyond that, we've got a lot of upside. We've got a tremendous amount of upside. Last quarter was a really special quarter for us. We're able to realize on the sale of 2 graphite royalties that were non-core and at a multiple where we purchased those. And then also, we have some really nice exposure to iron ore that kind of dissipates, and our precious metal exposure really ramps here in these following quarters and years. But iron ore was at all-time high prices. That's one of the benefits of having some diversification in your portfolio, is that you can really win from those scenarios. But to answer your question directly, analysts have us doing 6 million next year, and then between 8 and 10 in the following year. I haven't come out with formal guidance yet. I think we like to get a little bit closer to that fiscal year, that calendar year for us before we really come out with guidance. But the analysts have been, I think, relatively on track with where we're going and what we're producing. And to put that in context, I think long term we've got $15 to $20 million of long life revenue in the portfolio now that has a lot of exploration potential behind that and beyond that. And so I think that's really the way to look at our portfolio, is that there's that kind of ultimate quantum of long duration cash flow that's going to be available to our shareholders. And I think that's very meaningful. And we continue to build beyond that. So that's kind of how I would characterize the revenue situation right now, which is, very, very positive.
Definitely. And I look forward to covering that. So VOX just provided an update for the Janet Ivy gold mine and filed a technical report on SADAR. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so Janet Ivy, this was a royalty that we acquired back in March when we completed our financing. And the really exciting part of that was we had this information that this heap leach was likely to go ahead. And the operator, Norton, who's owned by Cision, which is a $30 billion gold company, they had basically put this out there in an EPA filing. And so we were able to go take this filing along with the publicly information available on this asset, put it in a technical report, because it's become now a very material project to us. So the exchange mandates it, but also it was good for us to be able to put all of that information out there for our shareholders and for prospective shareholders. But this is now what's going to be the largest heap leach operation in all of Australia. That's pretty significant. We've got a great royalty over it. We've projected that can do anywhere between $1.5–2.5 million of cash flow for us over a very long duration with upside. So that was just an exciting development. We kind of knew that was going to happen, but that actually manifesting within the portfolio has been great for our shareholders and exciting to pass that news along.
Sounds awesome. So what are the main catalysts we should be looking for right now from VOX in the near term?
Well, we continue to pass on these operator updates. They come out from us kind of like clockwork, but it's based on the drilling and the development expenditure from our operating partners. It's very material. We cherry pick these assets that are performing, generally much better than even we expected. So that continues to come out. That's continuing to both de-risk assets and increase the upside in assets. So I believe our portfolio is continuing to revalue. Some of that's starting to get reflected in the market, but we have a long way to go before I think we're in the fair value range. And then alongside of that, look, we're going to continue delivering revenue growth. Segulola coming online, announcing first gold pour, and now commercial production is a big milestone and will generate revenue for us in the coming quarters and years. And then alongside of that, we have, I think it's 3 now that we're expecting to come into production next year, possibly more, based on operator guidance in terms of what's going to hit next year. So continued growth in producing assets, continued growth in revenue. And then as always, we're scanning the world for interesting royalty acquisition opportunities. We're very disciplined in what we buy. I think that discipline has served us well. We're not counting on commodity prices going higher. If they do, that just continues to compound and be wind at our back at a very favorable level. But we'll continue to bring really terrific transactions into the portfolio for our shareholders. But right now, the organic growth is just tremendous, and we don't have to put any more dollars out to accomplish that for our business.
Lots to be excited about, and I guess that's the benefit of your business model, which is really awesome. So I know we can't predict the future, but it seems that inflation is here to stay. I personally think that it's not transitory. In an environment of increasing inflation, what does this mean for VOX and commodity prices in general? And what's your thoughts on the market?
So I've got to separate the conversation from personal belief and how we invest as a business. The way we invest in a business is we price metal prices lower. We don't expect that metal prices are going up. We believe that is a key part of our discipline. Is we actually forecast backwardation and a declining commodity price environment generally. So that's how we price our deals. That's why, one of the reasons why, if you're paying attention to royalty companies that are doing it, what I think is well, that's how you should be valuing assets. That being said, I do not believe in this transitory narrative that the federal governments want you to believe on inflation. I was talking to an investor yesterday, and they said that they studied the last 17 inflationary regimes. I believe that was just exclusive to the US, but the US is kind of a leading indicator and benchmark for inflation. But they studied these past 17 inflationary regimes, and every single time commodity prices went up. So, again, personally, I believe that's probably likely to be the case. At a business level, how we are investing investor and shareholder capital, we believe metal prices will continue to be in call it a backwardation type environment. But that just gives you more leverage. If we're able to make money at lower metal prices from where we're at today, you've got better risk adjusted exposure in commodities. And that's what we're here to generate for our shareholders.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it doesn't hurt to be conservative sometimes. So, where's the best place for investors to find out more information about the company or follow along?
VOXroyalty.com. A lot of good information on the website. We also have our IR portal. So viewers are more than welcome to email ir@voxroyalty.com. I'm usually on there answering emails. So always happy to engage on all the social media channels as well. But the website's a good starting point for more information.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kyle. I'm sure we'll have more news coming in the near term. So you guys have got your hands full. Best of luck with everything, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Aaron. Appreciate it.
If you like these videos, kindly hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. Drop us a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. And finally, always remember, Departures Capital is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only. Don't buy or sell a stock because you heard it on here. Buy or sell a stock because you've done your research, you've done your thorough due diligence, and you're making your own personal investment decisions for yourself. This video is not financial advice. Furthermore, this video may or may not have been sponsored by the companies that we've profiled within this video, and we may or may not own shares of any of the profiled companies in this video. If you want to know the full disclosure details, check the description down below along with thoroughly reading our disclaimer. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.